Hello friends, welcome once again to another edition of Empowered Ways. Empowered Ways is a self and business development program aimed at empowering especially the youth with information sufficient to help them discover their potential, put them to use and become who they were created to be. Today I'm going to be talking about why I am not yet rich. Why I am not yet rich. And I define riches as having financial freedom. What do I mean by financial freedom? I'm talking about a situation where you no longer worry about anything that you need to do with money. That is my definition of financial freedom. Now the question is, why am I not yet rich? Why have I not yet gotten my financial freedom? Is what I am going to be looking at today. So as I share my experience with you, I want to believe that my experience is a reflection of your experience, some way, somehow. And if it is not, please just listen. You will definitely learn one or two things from it, which could help you. If you're already rich, then thank God for you. But I also believe that this experience can also help you to discover some of the challenges, some of the things you did wrong, and how you are getting it right now, and how you should also continue to maintain it to get it right. In any case, I believe you too, you are going to learn one or two things. Now, I made this quote. I have to rephrase it a little bit. It's a popular quote, but I did a little rephrasing. And now what is the quote? The quote is this: poverty is not a function of lack of money, but a function of lack of requisite financial education and lack of belief in oneself. The requisite financial education is the part which I added to it. Now, if poverty is not a function of lack of money, but lack of requisite financial education and lack of belief in oneself, in one's ability to become rich, then the question now is, why am I not yet rich? I am not yet rich because I have all my years believed that poverty is a function of lack of money. Before I proceed further, let me tell you this. I've developed the habit of recording my earnings and expenditure. I did that almost 2 years, from 2008 to 2010. And then I discovered the amount of money that passes through my hand, monthly and annually. And then I wonder, I marvel. Some years, over 1 million passes through my hand. And currently, while I'm making this video, I am also doing that. I stopped it after 2010, and then I started it again about 4 months ago. And within these 4 months, I have discovered that close to 800,000 naira had passed through my own hand, from my business to my personal money and every other thing. Close to 800,000 naira had passed through my own hand in about 4 months. With 800,000 naira in 4 months, that is an average of about 200,000 naira a month. Somebody can actually become rich through this, but yet I am not yet rich. So I started asking myself question: why am I not yet rich? And then attending seminars, getting counsel from people. Of course, I resort to study, to reading books. And so I chose 4 books, four recommended books. The first book I read was The Magic of Thinking Big by Charles Schwab. The Magic of Thinking Big. This book revolutionized my thinking pattern. It changes my thinking, it changes my belief and how I need to think big about myself and my future and the things I need in life. If it is wealth, how to think big about it. If it is fulfillment, happiness, joy, whatever you might call it, how to get it big and how to think big about it. After studying that book, of course, I have to read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill again. I've read it in about 2008, maybe about twice that year. But I have to reread it again. And then after reading that book again, I tell you, it brought about fresh ideas, fresh understanding, and how I can change my situation by thinking. It is a powerful book, of course. I recommend these books. Now, I went further to read another book, for the second time again, The Richest Man in Babylon. The Richest Man in Babylon is a fundamental book if you want to become rich. It is one of the books you need to read. And then currently I am reading for the second time again, The Secret of the Millionaire's Mind. Now, after going through these books, I have discovered a pattern. So I am going to be sharing this idea with you today, not because I have gone through those books, I've read all of those books and practiced all that they have said, and then I have become rich. No, it is not because of that. I'm doing it for two reasons. One, it is because my calling and my area of potential, my area of talent is to talk, to motivate, to encourage, and to help others understand and then get them empowered through information. I am doing this because that is what my talent and my gifting is all about. So one of the reasons I am sharing this idea with you today is because it is my place and my position to share these ideas. It is my place and my position to encourage people with ideas. Well, one will say, why didn't you try the idea first and find out whether it works? Then you can come and tell us your personal experience. Now, that takes me to the second reason why I'm doing this. The second reason why I'm doing this is, if 4 of these world-class authors agree on a pattern of becoming rich, on the things you need to do to become rich, then there is a high chance of those things working. I am trying them right now. I'm beginning to see some of the changes anyway, but I cannot say that I am rich yet. So now the question is, why am I not yet rich? Or why have I not become rich all this while? I am going to share this experience with you. Now, from what I have discovered from these 4 books I have mentioned, and so many other books also that I've read concerning becoming rich, and how you can become a better you, I have discovered 3 fundamental reasons, 3 very serious reasons, 3 very important reasons why I am not yet rich. You see, let me quickly also share a little of my experience with you. Now, this program video I'm doing right now, I am actually doing it as a result of a pet talk I had with my wife yesterday. We have to sit down and begin to ask ourselves questions and to say, what are our challenges? Why are we struggling? Why are we not yet rich? What do we need to do to become rich? And then I started enumerating these things. So the number 1 reason why I am not yet rich is my childhood programming. The things that I saw while I was growing up, the experiences of my parents, their view about money. I have grown up in an environment where money was never always there. And so, what my mind had recorded about life is struggling. And that is why I am still struggling. That is why I am struggling. Because what is the record in my mind? Struggle when it comes to life. Because I saw my parents struggle. Now, let me share this very brief story with you. There were 2 twins. The father was a drunk. They asked one of the twins that took after the father, why are you a drunk? And he said, you see, my father is a drunk. I have no option. I have no choice but to follow after the footsteps of my father. And then they asked the second twin, who wasn't a drunk. And then they asked him, why are you not a drunk? He said, you see, my father is a drunk. I have no option but not to follow the steps of my father. I hate my father for being drunk, and so I don't have to follow his steps. Now, these are 2 children from the same parents. What this means is that whatever is your programming, whatever it is that is obvious in your environment, you can actually decide to change it. The next thing is the environmental influences. The environmental influences that I have a very negative environmental influences when it comes to money. I practically grew up in the rural environment, in the poverty-stricken places where you don't have good water, you don't even have enough food to eat. You struggle your life, and then you see the children that grow up in the same environment with you, they are just poverty-stricken. Imagine a situation where you are up to 10 years old and yet you don't even have pants to wear. you run around with nakedness. That is the kind of environment I grew up from. So imagine a child that is even up to 10 doesn't wear pants. That is one of the worst environments one can grow up from. But you see, that environment has also influenced my thinking. It has programmed me to begin to think that it has to be struggle. If you cannot afford to wear pants, your parents cannot afford to buy you pants, even while you were 10 years old, you are still running around with nakedness. You don't have soap to bathe. You don't have all of these luxuries of life. Such environment is enough to program you for perpetual poverty. And then the other thing is personal experience, my personal experience with money. While I grew up, while I started taking care of myself, what are my personal experience? I had the experience of a situation where whatever you need, you struggle to get it. It is difficult to have it. Even when you are sick, sometimes you don't even have money to go to the hospital to go and see a doctor. To a situation where you don't even have money sometimes to even buy common drugs in the pharmacy to take. These are experience. These things form your habit, it forms your thinking. They are the ones that are forming your thinking. While you do all of these things and while you go through all of these processes, your subconscious mind does not interpret them. All it does is to take the message as it gets to it. And so you see, you begin to live your life according to the pattern of your dominant programming, according to the pattern of your thinking, according to the pattern of the things that are in your subconscious mind, the lifestyle of your parents, the struggling nature of your environment, and then of course the continuous struggling nature of your adulthood. These things I have discovered are the major reasons why I am not yet rich. But like as I said, there are 3 reasons. The second is my actions and the way of my thinking. Now that I have grown, now that I am an adult, what are my actions? What are my thinking patterns? What are the things that I am thinking about? Now, I have said that my programming has been a programming of a life of struggle. So, what it means is that now that I am independent, my mind has always been preoccupied with a life of struggle. So every day I go out, I come back, whatever I have is what I eat. Whatever I have, I finish it. No matter the amount of money I earn, I look for a way to squander it, to finish it. Because I have been programmed to struggle. So what am I thinking about? If I do not think on ways on how to change this life of struggle, if I do not think on pattern, on things I need to do to begin to change this life of struggle, no savings, no investment. These are my ways of thinking and my actions. My action is, of course, finish everything you have. Because where you grew up, you never had anybody talk about saving. Finish everything you make. Because where you grew up, you never had anybody talk about investment. Finish every money, no matter the amount. So you see, even if I earn 20,000 naira a day, the next day I almost go out without any amount of money left with me. And then the next thing is, I try to do it alone. Nobody can succeed alone. I have discovered this. You need people in your life. You need people to support you. You need mentors. I need mentors. I discovered that I need mentors. I need partners. I need people who will bring in their ideas. That is why all of these people are there. I need them. I need to have them. I have discovered this. And then, now, what do I need to do to start becoming rich? What do I need to start doing now that I have discovered the reasons why I am not yet rich? A little knowledge of psychology I have is that you cannot erase what is in your subconscious mind, but you can suppress it. You can put in the opposite information. And then when the old information is trying to pull up themselves, the new set of information that you have used to suppress it can always come to check it. So I need to begin to reprogram my mind. I need to begin to change my dominant thinking pattern. How do I do that? I need to begin to think differently from what I used to think. Because that's the only way I can get a different result. I need to also commit myself to changing the negative words, the negative thinking pattern. I need to commit myself to begin to changing the negative thinking, the negative ones in my mind. Commitment to changing it. I need to take appropriate action. What are those actions? I need to read, I need to study, I need to change my association, I need to begin to do a lot of things, I need to go to more school, I need to do a lot of reading. Those things that will help me change my dominant thinking pattern, I need to begin to do them. Take appropriate action. You cannot just decide and stay there. You have to decide and take the action. I have decided. That led me to reading a lot of books, including those 4 books I have mentioned earlier. Those were the action. Then the next thing I need to do is that I need to start earning money. How do you do that? Get a job. If you think it's not easy for you to get a job, get a skill. And of course, start a business. If you have gotten a skill, either you can get a job from it or start a business with it. This way you can begin to earn money. And then, I have also learned, especially from the richest man in Babylon, that you need to put a portion of whatever you earn, no matter the amount, aside. Put aside a portion of your earning to pay your debt. If you are owing, if you are not owing, fine and good. Put a portion of that amount. He recommends at least 10% of your earning into investment. Invest. Put this money aside. Money that does not yield cannot make you rich. That is why you see, people like us who grew up from a struggling environment, all we go after when we make money is just to eat and to squander and to finish that which you make. You cannot become rich if your money is not bringing you more money. You can't eat all your earnings and expect to be rich. You must invest. And let me tell you this. I'm not a professional in the area of investment, but the little I know, especially from George Clason's book, The Richest Man in Babylon, you can't go and give your money to somebody, to a carpenter to invest for you. You give your money to somebody who is skilled in investing. No matter how little it is, put some money aside. It is that one you are putting aside that will make you become rich. Do this thing, and please, also learn to live on whatever is left. If you say you are investing just 10%, do your best to live on 90%. If you are investing 20%, do your best to live on 80%. Do everything you want to do with your 80%. That is just how it is. You cannot fail to do this. I have started it. I have started investing at least 10% of my earnings, and I am trying my best. Though, to be very frank with you, sometimes I miss it. But I am conscious of it, and I am doing my best to invest at least 10% of my earnings. And I know that as long as I stick to these principles, I stick to this pattern, and I keep doing it, discipline myself to do it, one day, as soon as I am going to become rich. I believe this, and I know I deserve it. I know I can become rich, and I know that I have all it takes to be rich. Thank you, and God bless you.